The idea with Star Wars The Old Republic was that instead of getting Knights of the Old Republic 3, you were getting Knights of the Old Republic 3 through 10. While it's unlikely that, for example, the Bounty Hunter would have been KOTOR 8 or something, it's universally understood that KOTOR 3 is the Jedi Knight story. While there's a second Jedi class to choose, this character will have the ties to the past games that establish it as the spiritual successor to them. The other 7, by and large, are stories set within the world of KOTOR rather than a continuation of the central plotline of the series. That doesn't make it inherently better or worse, it just provides context and shows why it's appropriate that our first journey to the light side is here. The Jedi Knight is also a fitting choice for this outing because it was the 5th class that I played, having done all of the Imperial side first. That wasn't because of any great love for the Empire. You see, when the game first launched, there was no legacy system as there is now. That wouldn't come until the following April. Thus, there was nothing that tied your characters together. For several years now, we've had a legacy storage wardrobe thingy that you can put stuff in with one character and take it out by another character. But with no legacy at all, well, obviously there was no way to share things between characters like that. The only option that there was the in-game email system. You'd get some gear or craft some items or harvest some materials, and you'd attach it in an email and send it to your other character to then make use of. But because the system put a hard wall between Republic and Empire in all of its aspects, save for beating the shit out of each other, you were limited to your own side. So there was no point starting on the Republic if your main character was on the Empire because of the firewall that was between them. The legacy system then made an exception for your own characters when it finally did arrive, and good thing too, as otherwise you were cut off from half of your game. Now, we saw in the prequel trilogy that the Jedi had a temple on Coruscant, but that's not where we start the game here, for reasons that the title text quickly explains. It is a dark era for the Jedi Order. The Sith Empire obliterated the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and slaughtered many of the Republic's brave defenders during the last war. The surviving Jedi have withdrawn to their ancient homeworld of Tython, where they take advantage of a fragile peace to train a new generation of Guardians for the galaxy. Now a new hope emerges. A young Padawan strong in the Force journeys to Tython's dangerous wilderness to complete the final Jedi trials and become a Knight of the Republic. No, there's nothing wrong with my vehicle warranty service, you dipshit. I'm not recording that again. So this is our hero, Trey Quash, who has apparently just come from a rock concert.
Welcome to Tython, Padawan. Everyone at the temple is looking forward to meeting you. Your former masters praise your combat skills. They say you're becoming an expert duelist.
That's me, expert duelist. That's why I have a practice blade on my back.
The Jedi Council will assign you a new master to oversee your final trials. You'll be tested in ways you can't imagine. But when you leave Tython, you'll know what it means to be a Jedi Knight. More importantly, you'll know yourself.
I don't know. I've known me for a number of years by now. I've always had my back, and I gotta say, even when I thought I might not be there for me, I always turned up in the end.
Flesh Raiders, armed with blasters? He must be mistaken.
Oh, whatever that is sounds bad. Flesh Raider sounds like the name the media turns to once human trafficking doesn't get them enough clicks.
Flesh Raiders are a species of hostile natives. They're smart enough to use tools and violent beyond reason. I'm sending every able-bodied Jedi down to the Padawan training grounds right away. Especially you.
Okay, well then, lucky thing I've got my back here. Well, this is important, but first I've got to get changed into the right clothing here. I know that may not seem important, but they say, dress for the job you want, not the one you have, and I definitely do not want the job of guy who carries stuff around, so I gotta get into the proper attire. There we go. No one is going to take one look at me and say, that guy's a roadie. So I make with the smashing of the flesh raiders. Clearly they are after prisoners because they got all these cages whipped up. Nobody inside for me to save. Or at least nothing I can interact with. I guess you're only allowed to save people if the game thinks you should. Well, yeah, middle of the field, all of a sudden my phone rings. And this time it's not about my vehicle's warranty.
You're unharmed. Good. Flesh Raider shot me in the leg while I was rescuing some Padawans.
I was all ready to believe you until you felt the need to add on, well, while I was rescuing some Padawans, it happened. Like, are you just asking me to come over and save your gimp ass? You just gotta say so.
I've been evacuated to a med center, but the fighting isn't over.
I was expecting reinforcements by now.
Some are already here, but Flesh Raiders keep pouring in. That's why I'm calling. Another Padawan found a cave tunnel the Flesh Raiders used to enter this valley. I need you at that tunnel, making sure the Flesh Raiders don't get any more reinforcements through it.
It's not often that I get asked to unmake a hole, but I'll do what I can. So I slice my way through the many Flesh Raiders until I finally find that cave that he's talking about. I mean, you'd think it'd be more obvious if Flesh Raiders are streaming out of it. Although then again, that might be the reason I'm fighting so many of them, so I kind of look like the idiot, don't I? But wait a moment, what do we have here?
Stop struggling, Padawan. Your life was over the moment you set foot here.
I'm getting the feeling this is not a training exercise.
What's this all about?
You are dangerous. You killed my soldiers.
Yeah, this guy's got some crossed wires up there. He brings out some more Flesh Raiders while ranting about cleansing or something, so... Well, obviously we can't allow him to do that, so we're going to have to try to get him to see reason. That's probably not going to go well.
Lay down your weapons. I don't want to hurt you.
The old order is dead. Long live the new order.
Yeah, one of the first things you learn about being a Jedi is that it requires going up to cackling people covered in blood and going, "Are you sure you won't just come along peacefully?"
You two all right?
Yeah, no thanks to this guy. Way to jump in and get my back there, pal.
Thank the Force that you're both safe. This man's no Jedi. At least not one of us.
He organized the attack on the training grounds. Called the Flesh Raiders his soldiers.
I warned the Council these natives aren't mindless beasts. This is proof.
Well, I'm glad we know now. It would have been nice to find out without them shooting at us first.
You held off all these attackers by yourself with only a practice saber. Impressive.
And while wearing these snazzy robes, I might add. Anyway, we're supposed to collapse this tunnel so no more Flesh Raiders come through. I was thinking more of plugging it up with the rubble, but I suppose that works too. He tells me I need to go see the Jedi Council, and while I'm concerned that there might still be dangers in the valley, he thinks that this is a priority for me. I should just leave it to the Jedi Knights who are sorting it out. So, I guess we're off to see the Council. One of the clear differences between the Republic and Imperial sides in the game is how, for Force users, Korriban is a meat grinder for up-and-coming Sith. The Sith power structure is clearly centered upon the second world, Dromund Kaas, which is also the center of political power. Yes, the Dark Council meets on Korriban, but they don't hang out here even when they're not heading off to further some personal ends. But Tython is the center of the Jedi, not just those being trained, but where they prefer to be right now. Some are on Coruscant, sure, but no effort is being made to restore that world as the center of Jedi leadership. It's a place to go to coordinate with the Republic government, and little else. As you see, the Jedi player meets with the Council almost in the beginning, whereas the Sith don't face the Dark Council as a whole until the end. There's an obvious division between both priority and the view of the lower ranks within these respective orders.
Padawan, I'm Satil Shan, leader of the Jedi Council. I'd like to speak privately with you before we meet with the others.
You have my full attention, Master. What do you need?
This isn't a discussion for a comm channel. Come to my meditation room in the temple. We'll talk there.
Oh man, so many pornos start this way. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do. Oh, never seen the afterglow before we've even started.
Master Orgus told me you battled flesh raiders, and a Force user armed with a lightsaber. That must have been a disturbing confrontation. Are you all right?
Well, killing someone wasn't exactly on my to-do list, but I'm dealing.
I admire your composure, but have you truly searched your feelings about this? Taking a life affects the living Force, and the one who does the killing. This is why Jedi enter battles calmly, with reason. Emotions like fear and anger lead to the dark side.
Right. No, I've taken all that on board. Just, I'm chill. I'm good. I'm easy. So, guess I'll see you at the meeting. No anger, no fear, I felt only peace. 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 Got it.
I searched the temple archives. This Force user leading the Flesh Raiders never received Jedi training.
Then the Sith have found us. Shouldn't we get ready for them?
Calm yourself, Padawan. We can't be certain of anything yet.
But we've all sensed a growing darkness. Perhaps it's finally revealed itself.
I felt a peace. Oh, shit.
Everyone, this is the Padawan who saved our people in the training grounds. This is Master Kiwix and her extremely vocal Padawan, Kira. The other masters are transmitting from distant worlds.
Well, they're clearly taking this seriously if they're dropping whatever they're doing out there to have this meeting. They still seem a bit gobsmacked about what happened. They just dismissed the Flesh Raiders as just a bunch of primitives that were no threat to them.
Much of Tython remains unexplored, and we have few resources to spare.
I'll handle it with the help of my new Padawan.
Orgus, you haven't taken a Padawan since Coruscant.
The Force is strong in him, stronger than I've seen in decades.
I can think of no finer master to complete this Padawan's training.
Day one and I've already been apprenticed by a member of the Jedi Council? Ha ha! I knew these robes were worth it. He said there was useful equipment in here, but all there are mismatched socks. What is his deal? Well, at least he's finally done with the meeting and now we can get down to business.
I get the impression you haven't had a Padawan for years. Why did you ask to train me?
As Jedi, you learn to trust your instincts. When I met you in that cave, my instincts told me that I was meant to train you. I don't know why or for what purpose, but the living Force brought us together for a reason.
Yeah, after a lifetime in the Jedi Order, I've gotten kind of used to answers like that. I don't know why or for what purpose, but tonight is macaroni and hot dog night.
There's a group of Twi'lek pilgrims on Tython. They've been fighting the Flesh Raiders for months. The Republic asked us to deny those Twi'leks aid. They settled here illegally, but frankly, we need them.
Plus, there's the moral aspect to it. I kind of have a problem of letting people die as some kind of object lesson for them.
The Twi'leks petitioned the Senate to settle here. Their claim was denied. Too dangerous.
Yes, we don't want to expose any of our settlers to any potential dangers. That's why we're building a settlement on a toxic swamp planet with a disease that turns you into an infectious monster. Because safety first. So, next stop is the Twi'lek village.
Greetings, Matriarch. Master Orgus Din has sent me to help you fight the Flesh Raiders.
So the Jedi finally deigned to recognize my people's suffering. How noble.
Wow. Nice day to you too, Dick.
We didn't realize how great a threat the Flesh Raiders had become.
And now you seek help from the people you once ignored. My scouts have tracked the Flesh Raiders for months, watched them grow in strength. I will share what we've discovered, but only if you agree to protect my people.
Well, how can I say no after buttering me up like that?
Personally, I don't care why you've come. As long as you destroy the Flesh Raiders. Ever since they got their new weapons and gear, they hunt us like animals. The enemy has a camp in the valley nearby. My scouts say the Flesh Raiders store their weapons and other tech in a cave.
Well, I can understand why people thought they were too primitive. Keeping technology in a cave, that's something you only do if you like to dress as a bat. There's a disagreement on what should happen with those weapons. This guy wants me to sabotage them so that they'll overload and kill Flesh Raiders. But the daughter of the lady in charge wants me to bring them back here so they can defend themselves, and that seems like the best of the two options. I mean, I am worried that with the attitude that was clearly on display here, they might try to turn around and start slaughtering all the flesh raiders, but I'd rather take that chance than risk deliberately provoking this further by intentionally setting off the weapons to explode. So after fighting my way through the flesh raiders and into their cave, what do I find? Yep, an astromech droid, T7. He belonged to one of the Jedi and was captured and brought back here since he's useful tech. He's certainly useful to me because he's got some info.
Teach our soldiers how to use these weapons. Train them on the Twi'lek invaders.
When will we strike against the Jedi?
Patience, Caliph. The Jedi will fall when our army reaches full strength.
Well, sure hope he didn't place any money on that one. So I free T7 and then head back to that Twi'lek village to give them the weapons.
She died in my arms. You should have seen what those filth did to her.
I'm sorry, Selu. We all share your loss.
For every one of us the Flesh Raiders butcher, we should kill 10. No, 100!
Will that restore your loved one to life?
Don't lecture me, Jedi. My wife is dead. Our people slaughtered. Where were you then?
Now, someone just died. I guess he's entitled to be a little pissy. Anyway, mission was a success. We've deprived them of weapons and simultaneously given a means for these people to defend themselves against further attacks.
Finally, one of you who understands. Give me those weapons. We'll hunt down the Flesh Raiders. We'll have retribution.
No. No one looks at the ranting, grieving man and saying, that guy needs a gun.
Well done, Padawan. He may not feel better, but at least he'll stay out of trouble. People wonder why Jedi are forbidden to marry or have families. They don't see how attachments always lead to suffering. Passionate emotions can destroy a person, and Jedi destroyed by passion become something terrible.
Well, yeah, definitely, but, there's always the little, on the side there, where there's no attachment involved, just a little of the, by which I mean, you're absolutely right, Master. Yeah, this is another one of those do as I say, not as I do things. I mean, for crying out loud, the head Jedi's got a kid in the SIS. Anyway, while my master sees to T7, I'm sent off to go talk to Rana to see how things are going.
Scouts report that the Flesh Raider forces are gathering in strength. They already control the mountains around us, and now they're invading the ruins of Kaleth. My men spotted them at the remains of an ancient shrine, close to your Jedi temple.
Kaleth was a great city of Force users. Its ruins hold powers we still don't understand.
The Flesh Raiders are looking for something there.
We can't let them find it.
You got it. I'll head there and do what I can to stop them.
If you see that hooded figure from the holo, do not engage him.
You don't have to tell me twice. That guy was bad news. That guy was a letter from the IRS Department of Ass Fucking. In addition to worrying about Flesh Raiders, there are also a number of droids in the area, turning this into a three-way fight. But I finally reach...
Go peacefully, or face the consequences. This is your only warning.
Oh, I hate being on the side that gives warnings. Alright, I'm going to show this sucker-punching Lord of the Dance how we do things downtown. Yeah, so much for your minions. You got an end zone performance for that one?
Master Orgus sent us. We came as quickly as we could.
Well, it's handled, but one of them was using the Force, so I think we can safely file that under bad news.
You sure made short work of this bunch. You ever leave survivors?
When I'm not outnumbered 5-1 because my backup still has her hooves in the feeding trough.
Master Orgus thinks he knows who's behind it.
I gathered as much, but he had no time to explain before sending us here. I wish we could stay, see this through, but Master SWTOR has ordered us to Coruscant on a special mission.
All those bad feelings the Council's been having? She thinks the Republic capital is the source.
I don't doubt. I just don't see how this is any different than any other day. After setting up some surveillance devices, just in case anybody tries anything out here again, I then head back to the Twi'lek village to meet up with my master.
The man who attacked you when you first arrived? His lightsaber had a familiar aspect. This droid's holo recording confirmed my suspicions. The hooded figure in that recording is named Bengel Morr. He was my Padawan, but he never completed his training.
Damn, if a dropout trained by this guy can pull all this crap, just imagine what he can teach me. From the sound of it, during the attack on Coruscant, this poor schmuck was lost and presumed to have been killed, but wasn't. He's instead turned to the dark side. Under the circumstances, I can understand the temptation, but to do all this? I've never been that pissed off about anything. And I once had to spend a semester sharing a room with someone who snored through their asshole. Well, good news, bad news time. The bad news is that surly lady from the beginning is dying. And, yeah, she may have been rude, but I don't want to see her dead because of it. Good news is, though, that we've got a big lead on where to deal with the bad guys. Seems that there's a stronghold that's protected by an energy shield.
You up for knocking out the power generator?
When have I ever let you down?
First time for everything. Not that I'm worried. See if you can give the droid an opening to gather more intelligence.
You can count on me. That shield is going to go down faster than a 50-year-old boxer in debt to the mob. So I fight my way through yet another cave. You know, I've only been here a few days, but I'm starting to notice a pattern here. And I can't help but wonder if... Am I really the first one that has noticed how much mischief is happening in caves that are near our base? Maybe we ought to do something about it. I mean, can't we be kind of proactive, at least as far as things that keep messing with our base goes? I mean, take a look at this thing, for example. I mean, there's no way that someone just smuggled this thing in a backpack. We're really asleep at the wheel if we didn't notice one of these things showing up.
Your misguided attacks change nothing. Your time is over.
Master Orgus is looking for you, Bengel.
Orgus won't find me. I'll find him. You executed my apprentice, Caliph. I can feel his death on you.
Well, I'm afraid the law is clear. The sentence is death for attempting to shove a lightsaber through my face.
I spent years training him. He was a good man, a principled man. Proud of yourself?
No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, he wasn't that good.
Every so-called Jedi on Tython is going to die. That's a promise.
Okay, gotta tell you, your attempts to try to guilt me about killing that guy before, yeah, you've undermined any possible effort in that direction.
I shut down the energy shield. Any word on Master Orgus's mission?
No. My mother, she found peace during your absence.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, if it's any consolation, you look like you can handle things. I mean, whatever's thrown at you, you look like you can take it.
Patriarch, Flesh Raiders broke through our defenses. They did something to our crop fields. They dropped strange machines in the soil. When a scout approached one, he collapsed with sickness. He crawled away from the device and began to recover, but there are many more machines still out there.
One thing I have learned on the planet of tranquility and peace is that if it's not one fucking thing, it's another around here.
I'll take out as many of them as I can.
Hurry to the fields. I fear we don't have much time.
So I head back into the field and... it's like junior year all over again. Now, finally I deal with the devices and the Flesh Raider guards.
I've destroyed the machines poisoning your crops.
I saw how you suffered out there. What you did was more than brave. It was heroic.
It's nothing. But seriously, can I borrow your washing machine? I can only afford to buy one of these things. If I go back smelling like this, they're going to burn this robe.
Finally put the Flesh Raider base out of commission. How are things on your end?
Besides being at ground zero when the Flesh Raiders are throwing stink bombs at the place, the big news is going to have to be your old apprentice showing up. The plan right now is that I'm going to go check out some ruins, and my master is going to go see if he can find Bendo himself. The way he was talking implied that he's doing this in order to be able to fight the Sith rather than work for the Sith. So, the boss is hoping that we can talk some sense into him. I don't think it's going to happen without a big mallet, personally.
Idlen verfi a kallin tob keret. A tenger kellet wiesel ni az.
Master Orgus sent me to drive back the Flesh Raiders.
Os zes hajot a kik neka neve.
Yeah, we really need to send out a memo on this point. Unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do for him, except to go in there and finish what he started.
The Flesh Raider camp's out of commission, Master, but they were all Force users. They killed a Jedi named Lauta. His body is in these ruins. What should I do?
We'll reclaim our fallen later. Just got a distress call from the Twi'lek settlement. They spotted Bengel Morr. Our forces are spread out dealing with the secret camps. We're the only ones who can handle this. I'm on my way to the settlement. Meet me there.
And when this is done, I am crawling into a jacuzzi with all of the booze I can carry.
Master Orgus responded to your distress call. I was to meet him here. What's happened?
Nothing. We didn't send any distress call. Things have been quiet since you left.
Right. T7 also says that he's not here, but something doesn't smell right. And I don't just mean the stink bombs let off earlier. I'm suspicious about something going on. Tentacle-headed pricks.
What are you doing?
Matriarch, step aside. Handing over the boy's master wasn't enough. This Padawan has to die.
Oh, everything's still fuzzy. Lucky thing they're color-coded for my convenience. Anyway, as I suspected, the Rainbow Coalition here turned my master over to the bad guy and are planning to kill me, too. I knew this was a thankless job, but I didn't think they would thank me by killing me.
If we don't do what we're told, Bengel Morr will kill us all.
You don't want to hurt anyone. You want to leave here peacefully.
I don't want to hurt anyone.
We should leave here peacefully.
Yes, better that way. Here, perhaps you can use these. We don't need them.
I'm starting to understand why the Republic turned down your request to settle on this planet. It was to stop you from getting up my asshole.
I was going to save you. Save us all.
Your ignorance astounds me.
Everything just happened so fast. Bengel Morr took Orgus to someplace called the Forge. Reactivate your droid. It might know where to find them. You can forgive me, can't you?
Moron. Look, I won't be unreasonable about it. You committed a crime. You tried to get me killed, and you handed someone over to a mass murderer. You don't just get to walk away from that. You have to go and submit yourselves for judgment. But no, there's not going to be any retribution for your people or anything like that. As long as they don't shoot me in the back again, we'll be fine. Anyway, me and T7 better head to the Forge.
I am A4PO, Jedi Archivist. How may I help you?
Transmit everything you know about the Forge to my droid T7.
That area is considered highly dangerous. May I inquire why you need this data?
Man, I don't even know where to start.
Flesh Raiders captured Master Orgus and took him there.
By the stars, what perfectly awful timing. The Temple Masters are all indisposed fighting Flesh Raiders. I will alert them immediately, but they may be unable to assist you.
Yeah, I'm used to that. You get about as much backup on Tython as a cop does who turned on his partner to internal affairs. The thing about this situation is, it's nothing we shouldn't have seen coming, by and large. To break the fourth wall a bit, as originally conceived, anyone could become a Jedi if they were disciplined enough. If they were willing to go through the rigors of training and open themselves up to the Force, it didn't matter who you are. You could do it. It wasn't until Return of the Jedi introduced the idea that Force ability could be innate, and not until the spin-off works that this was the way of it, that you either were born with it or you weren't. This distinction is easy to see if you go back to the original Star Wars. Obi-Wan allows Luke to grow up and then offers him the opportunity to learn the ways of the Force before leaving the world. In the original view of it, Obi-Wan was just waiting until Luke was ready to begin learning. In the later interpretation, though, allowing Luke to have his innate Force ability with no training would be dangerous. It would manifest in various ways if he was powerful enough to have the potential to do what no Jedi could and defeat Vader. With the change to the genetic accident approach and the idea that the untrained risk becoming a danger to themselves and others, the idea emerged that Jedi were taken at a young age and trained in how to use their abilities, in accordance with the teachings of the Jedi Code. But that's where the problem begins to develop, and I don't mean a problem for Star Wars, I mean a problem for the Jedi. You're raising people to follow a code, but not everyone so raised can stay true to all of that. Some just don't have a disposition compatible with a Jedi's rules and requirements. They didn't choose this life, it was chosen for them. This is a system that works just fine in all scenarios, save for one: a confrontation with a foe of equal ability but contempt for you and all you stand for, and willing to go to any lengths to destroy you. The reason for many of the Jedi that we see on the Imperial side being, well, un-Jedi-like, is because this kind of war, against the kind of enemy they face, is something that will push you more than probably anything else possibly could. With their home destroyed by the Sith, and who knows how many lifelong friends killed during that, that's a tragedy of a magnitude beyond what some can endure. If someone just doesn't have the disposition to face the horrors and resist, well, then they don't. It's not like they made a bad choice becoming a Jedi. There was never any choice involved. Serenity and forgiveness can come natural if you have a life of quiet service, with your needs met in a fraternal union to help you belong. But too much pressure, and sometimes things just shatter. Acknowledging that is not to say the Jedi are hypocrites, is to say that the demands of the Order are sometimes more than those who never chose this life can take.
You weren't on Coruscant. You never saw our greatest cut down or watched the temple burn. I escaped that destruction to see my own master surrender to the Sith. They exterminated us, and he gave up.
This is what I mean. A lot of times being a Jedi is aspirational. It's about something that you hope to become rather than what you actually are. The problem of having something to measure yourself against is sometimes you just don't measure up. Oh, that ka-ching is so much more powerful than... But yeah, even with that wimpy-sounding weapon, we still managed to beat him and his minions, much to his shock, of course.
Why has the Force guided me to this defeat? You're stronger than any Jedi I've known. You could redeem the Order and destroy the Sith. I understand. You are the weapon I came to forge.
You don't have a destiny, Bengel. You're sick. You need help.
Don't deny the truth. Think. How else could you have beaten me?
You had disadvantages.
What disadvantages?
You're insane.
You'll get the help you need, Bengel. But you can't leave here.
Now stay down or I'll help you some more.
Padawan, I must have you to thank for being alive.
Now, preventing human sacrifice is one of many services we provide. Naturally gives me the attaboy for succeeding at this, saying that clearly this is beyond any form of trial that could possibly be reasonably expected. Stop the genocidal madman. So he says I can go up into the forge here now and make my lightsaber. Dude, you're stepping on my moment here. I don't go down to the Black Lagoon when you've kidnapped some bather and get in your way, huh? Professional courtesy here. After dealing with the monster, I could finally head back to the Jedi Council and fill them in on everything that's happened. Okay, the important thing is this time try not to say anything stupid.
The Flesh Raiders are still a threat, but without Bengel's leadership, they'll be scattered and ill-equipped.
This temple could have been devastated. The entire order is in your debt, Padawan.
Glad to help. No raiding flesh while I'm around. Fuck.
Their matriarch betrayed me to Bengel, but she surrendered herself to us for judgment. You're doing, I understand. Good work.
You know the Twi'leks, Padawan. How do you recommend we proceed?
I think the Jedi way would be to help these ungrateful bastards.
This young Jedi captured a fallen member of our order and saved this temple from destruction. I see no reason why he should remain a Padawan.
Well, I hope this is a sign of promotion and not that I just got fired.
Your bravery, heroism, and sacrifice show great depth of character. You represent our best hopes for the future. You arrived on Tython a Padawan, but you leave a Knight of the Republic.
Boom, baby. All that hard work finally paid off. Oh, and I get to enjoy it for a good 30 seconds.
Master Orgus, everyone, I've discovered a situation requiring further assistance. Our suspicions about Coruscant were correct. The dark presence we have long sensed is strongest here.
Well, there's a needle in a haystack for you. There's like an assload of people on Coruscant. And that's an Imperial assload, not a metric assload. Master SWTOR feels that this calls for our best. And since she's sending me and Master Orgus, well, that's a pretty ringing endorsement. So, our next stop is Coruscant. Well, actually, it's not. First, I have to head to the shuttle bay in order to get onto a shuttle, which will then take me to a space station, from which I'm to get a transport that will then take me to Coruscant, after which I have to then get my own ride in order to get to the Senate Tower in order to be able to actually have this meeting. But you know, I'm moving up in the world. Okay, I've got to stop embarrassing myself here. I'm a Jedi Knight now. I've got to... okay. Just remember, nothing is expected of you. You're here to find out what's going on. So just stick with that. Just stay in that thought, okay? You're here to find out what's happening. Go.
Tell me what's happening.
Way to go, asshole.
This is General Varsuthra and Dr. Eli Tarnas. We're discussing why the Republic secretly built a planetary-scale weapon without consulting the Jedi.
Yeah, we're an order dedicated to peace, so we have a lot of insights on weapons. This guy's invented something he's called the Planet Prison. That's a name that marketing's going to have to work on. In Star Wars, there's a thing called ion cannons. It basically is like an EMP. It shuts down the electronics of anything it hits. This guy's figured out a way to turn the outer atmosphere of a planet into a sort of an ion cannon effect. So any ship trying to go through it, up or down, depowers and then, crashes. He thinks it can have tremendous benefit because it can completely isolate a planet without hurting anybody on it. There's just one little fly in the ointment, and that is that the plans were just stolen by criminals.
Master Kiewix and I must speak with the Supreme Chancellor. I need you here finding those design files.
I won't let you down.
You stay as well, Kira. Your security expertise may come in handy.
So, is anyone else going to note that we've all come running here because of a Jedi Master who is currently holding a conversation with empty space?
32 hours ago, thieves raided a military storehouse. They stole weapons, supplies, and data files for the Planet Prison project. The thieves' leader slipped up. Showed his face to a security camera. We identified him from our criminal database.
Yeah, sorry, you're going to have to start over. I forgot everything because of Nightcrawler bamfing into here.
The Guild is a violent, well-armed criminal cartel. Invading their headquarters is something only a Jedi could pull off.
Oh dear. I really must go sit down. Excuse me.
Alright, try not to invent any planet-destroying weapons on your way to the lounge.
Agent, let's use your fancy security network to distract those gangsters. Give my friend and the thief some quality time.
Sounds like a good plan. I mean, I know how it must seem sometimes that we just leap in there with our lightsabers out, ready to cut down someone at the first opportunity. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Being a Jedi is all about reverence for life. After all, it is called the living force that matters to us. So we are committed at every opportunity to ensuring that we never, ever have to take anyone's life at all. We do what we have to. Sometimes it's necessary, sure, but not always. In fact, a lot of the times you can just talk your way out. You go in there and you reason with people, and with the reputation of the Jedi behind you, you'd be surprised how often people are just prepared to at least acquiesce to the situation. They don't go leaping for the suicidal option at the first opportunity. So that being a Jedi, we can just go in there and not have to take anybody's life at all, no matter what the circumstances. Even if we're running into the middle of some enemy base or something, we don't have to do anything at all, which is what we really want to. And God, this is fucking boring. Turrets. That's new. Not that's going to be much of a problem. Huh? I thought I was arresting you. I didn't know it was best 2 out of 3. Well, it seems they get their money's worth out of you by locking you in a time loop. He's already decrypted and sent off a copy of the files, but he's willing to give me the ones they've got back, plus the identities of who's responsible, but I need to let him go. I know I probably should bring him in, but that information is much more important, and frankly, this guy is small time. It's a wonder that he managed to get a hold of this information in the first place.
Found our stolen military hardware. Good. We need it. While you were gone, kidnappers grabbed Dr. Tarnis.
Are you kidding me? Man, the next time I come in here, I bet you won't even have any clothes on because they'll have been stolen.
Kira led a security team in pursuit, but the kidnappers split up during the chase. Hang on. Signal coming in.
Agent Galen, I've got these creeps pinned down, but they won't surrender.
Yeah, I've seen somebody in control of a situation, and it doesn't look at all like this. I think that T7 and I better go help her out.
Just in time. These guys get points for courage, but we're a little outnumbered.
Yeah, that's why it's good for your backup to be prompt. They claim they're going to kill the doctor if we try going in there, but there's no evidence they even have him right now. I mean, aside the fact that he's missing, but obviously he's somewhere.
I won't risk them killing Tarnis. We'll do this the hard way.
Then you shouldn't go in alone. I borrowed a stealth field generator from Agent Galen's office.
Ah, so that's why you appeared out of nowhere earlier. Don't play with things when we're having a meeting. Anyway, together we're able to get in there, defeat the bad guys, and corner their head honcho to try to find out what happened to the doctor.
Jedi scum! I'll kill you, someday.
He sure killed my stealth field generator. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Isn't teamwork grand?
I suppose it's kind of a novel experience for me. Well, the big problem we've got right now is this guy doesn't want to talk.
Thing is, we don't need him to talk. Not when I can just read his mind.
What? Stop that! Get out of my head! Get out! The doctor's in the Black Sun headquarters. Solar has him. Just leave me alone.
Not bad convincing him that you can read his mind. I was of the mind to say that we could read his thoughts by using the scomp link on the droid as an anal probe.
Dr. Tarnis is the least of our worries, General. The stolen data files had details, not only on the planet prison, but every weapon prototype and research facility in existence.
Our most powerful experimental weapons, and Black Sun has access to them. How could this happen?
I don't know, maybe your security shouldn't be run by the Marx brothers.
We must act quickly to secure these other weapons. Where are they?
3 off-world research facilities. Minimal defenses to give them a low profile. They're vulnerable.
Master Kiwix and I will split up and protect 2.
And I'll take the 3rd one.
You? I bet you still haven't figured out who's stealing your yogurt out of the mini-fridge. Well, that just leaves it to me to go to Black Sun to try to rescue this guy.
Kira will stay behind too. With Agent Galen leaving, her computer talents will be needed.
She can be impulsive, but give her a chance. You'll make a good team.
She's rough around the edges, but I like her.
She struggles with emotional attachments, as many young Jedi do. Be mindful of that.
Yeah, okay. Just, we're working. Wasn't like looking for butt stuff or something. One of the things about this game that has changed is that you couldn't get a mount until level 25. Even if you owned one, you couldn't unlock it until you purchased that special ability at level 25. But later on, they changed it so that you could unlock it with certain perks at level 10. One of the advantages to that is that if you're going fast enough on a speeder, eventually you can just get away from any threat that might try to stop you. This means that a lot of areas that you were supposed to slog through, and I do remember slogging through, are now nothing like that whatsoever.
You'll need to take down the base's security network so we can get inside. Once the network's down, we'll attack the back entrance. You take the front. We'll rendezvous in the base.
Tarnus, we risked everything for you. Stealing those data files, faking your kidnapping. This is how you repay us?
You were compensated with enough weapons and armor to make Black Sun invincible.
Invincible? There's a Jedi carving up my base. This is your fault. We never should have trusted a Sith.
If a Jedi has come for you, Solar, it wasn't my doing.
Doc, I heard you were kidnapped. Glad to hear you got over that. So a Sith posing as a weapons researcher for the Republic. I admit I was not expecting that one. Oh, hi, head of a criminal organization. I didn't notice you there.
Finish a pointless battle. Coruscant's fate is already sealed.
The gratuitous tuck and roll does him in every time.
Nice of you to join the party.
Wouldn't miss it.
Kill them all!
Yeah, that's really going to happen. We take down Black Sun easily enough, but the bigger issue, obviously, is the fact that not only is there a Sith on Coruscant, but they have access to our deadliest weapons. Who knew I'd miss the days when I just had to go running around in caves?